Do you know the smell of newly washed and dried outside laundry? It smells really good. So it's nighttime now. And right out here is one of the duvets. Look at the night sky. It's really cold today. It has been just around freezing. But the smell is just, I love it. You should try it. I guess if you live in warmer countries, they might not smell as fresh. I did dry this in, I didn't wash my duvet, only the cover. And I did dry it in the dryer first, otherwise it would never have been dried. Because I washed so many, and also the sheets, so that would never, it wouldn't have dried in time to go to bed, because I don't have that. I don't have one set. I'm not one of those people who have a lot of stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna put this into the bed. That was the last piece. And I will really enjoy the smell of this tonight. New, like fresh, new sheets. That's just the best smell. I don't use artificial smells. I don't use perfume. We are not good with smells in this house. Me and my daughter get headaches, so we are intolerant to smells. A lot of smells. Deodorant has just perfume in general, and if I take my daughter to the dairy, there's a little cheese shop at the dairy. She will get sick, and yeah, so we don't like that. We like the natural smells. But I'll put it in my bed now, and then I will talk about my treatment Thursday. It's Saturday today, but I'll talk about my treatment on Thursday, last Thursday, or 2 days ago. So on Thursday, I went and I had my treatment, my body therapy treatment, and it was a rough one. Not on my body, but on my mind. So this kind of body treatment releases stored emotions from your body. And your body is sore and tense because of old stored feelings. And I have a lot from my childhood and just in general growing up. And the rest of my life too, I didn't really start to stand up for myself and be myself until I was in my late 30s. I'm 44 now. And I have mentally worked through all my issues. And now I'm at the point where things are the way they are, and I'm okay with it, and I make the best of it, and so on. But apparently your body does not forget. It stores the feelings. And as I've said before, I have had, I sprained my back in September, and that wouldn't go away. And then every time I saw somebody who treated me, I had chiropractor and physiotherapy. 2 different people did physiotherapy on me, and they all said that I was very tense, and they even said that the muscle in my abdomen and in my pelvis area, they call it protect yourself muscle, was so tense that was probably also the reason why my back kept tensing up. And so this lady that I'm seeing now is the only one who's actually able to release it. But then she's not only releasing this muscle, she's working through my entire body. And in the beginning, she touched my outer thighs, and they were really, really sore. And she said that was where I stored my anger. And as I said earlier in a different video, I laughed at it because I've recently, the last couple of years, joked that I am angry. That you often say that women in their 40s are angry, and that was me. I was just so done with putting up with crap. So that made sense to me, and that went away so fast. And then I moved on to grief. And I thought I was doing pretty good with that until I went to see her on Thursday. I had sore elbows, and they were so sore that I almost flew and left the table I was on when she touched it, because I really jumped, and it was just so tense. And we've talked about it before, and then I thought it was doing great. Yeah, it had left my right elbow, but it was still sore in my left. And as I was laying there, I started freezing, like getting really cold and shaking. And then I started crying as well. And she was hardly touching me, but she was asking me questions, because that's a big part of the therapy. She asked questions like, why do you think you're angry? Why are you grieving now? What's the grief about? And so I realized that I had a feeling that I actually never really worked through. And I was very lonely as a child, and I didn't feel like I was worth anything at all. I was not only lonely but also alone, and I just feeling useless and left out and not a part of anything, and so many really negative feelings. And I never really worked through that part. And I realized that when I was laying there, and my body was just shaking. And I was crying, which was, I mean, she was just touching my body basically, and I was breathing. And then all that happened because she asked about my elbow and why I was still grieving. And it was, I guess I kind of scared her a little, because also when we were done, I almost felt like fainting getting off the table. So I think I kind of scared her a little, because she wrote me today and asked me how I was doing. But the thing is, I am okay about all these things because I have worked through them. But they are still stored in my body, and she opened that box. She opened that up. And then my elbow started hurting even worse afterwards. And so I told her, and when she wrote me, and she said that is probably because my body's working hard to clear stuff out now. I'm kind of hoping that's true, because it was so sore that when I was walking my dog earlier today, I couldn't just let it hang. To stretch it out, it hurts, so I kind of have to. So it's not nice walking, because then your arm is just hanging there. So I had to put my hand in my pocket to keep it bent. But that was crazy laying there. And then there was one thing that I'm kind of curious if that's gonna go away, and if it does go away, that would be the most crazy thing in the world. Because as I was laying there and getting really cold, I think what happened was that my body was reacting somehow, and I think it kind of reacted as a shock feeling. So all the blood came to the bigger parts of my body, because my nose was so cold and my toes were really, really cold for a second. And I had to ask her to go and rub my feet, because they got so cold. And I was wearing socks and wool socks, cotton socks, wool socks, and a blanket. But they were freezing cold, and she said she could feel it through the blanket that my feet were so cold. So we talked about this thing that I have suffered from as long as I can remember. I remember being a child, a small child, and my legs were hurting like mad. Whenever they get cold, I still suffer from it. When they get cold, my feet and my legs, it doesn't feel cold necessarily. It hurts. So I'm in pain. And only two things work: extreme heat for a longer period of time, so a very warm bath will help, or painkillers. And I went to the doctor once, and he said, well, if painkillers help and you have been doing this for 20 years, then I guess you're okay. It's nothing dangerous. Just keep doing that. But as I was laying there and that happened, I told her about my legs, and she said, because we were also talking about my hips, I said in an earlier video I was going to ask her about my hips, because that's also somewhere a place where you store your feelings. And she said that it could very well be that I had cut off my legs because I was so tense in the protect yourself muscle that it could tense up the areas around. And she did touch areas around the very, very top of my leg, like around my hip area, and that was so tense as well. And she said that I could have cut off so that the blood wasn't circulating correctly, and that could be the reason why my feet and legs are always really cold. I'm always wearing socks. I don't know how many different pairs of socks in the same color, because that's my favorite color, and my neighbor knows that, and she knitted the socks for me. They are wool socks. Always wearing socks, and I'm not kidding you. I'm also always wearing, let me show you, leg warmers underneath. My old neighbor used to joke, because in the summertime, just being home, I was walking around outside with a skirt on, and my leg warmers. So that looks ridiculous, but what can I do? My legs hurt. So if she can change that, if she heals that, that will be like a miracle. Because I remember as far back as being in primary school, my legs hurting like crazy, and remembering that wasn't new to me. So in, I don't know, first, second grade, and remembering that was not a new feeling. So it goes way back. So that was also kind of a revelation. Hold on. That was my son. He just came home from walking the dog. He always walks at night. That's he prefers to do that. But as I was saying, if she cures, I don't think she's gonna do that. I think I've always joked about me being wired wrongly wired, that they have misplaced the wires. So if she does, I really don't think she can cure that, but if she does, that will be like a miracle. But I'm a fan of that body therapy. I really like it, and I'm really hopeful. I still haven't had a migraine. It's Saturday today, and on Monday it will have been 5 weeks since the last migraine, and that was the one that was hardly there. And I think it was 3 weeks before that, so I'm either on 5 weeks or 8 weeks since my last migraine. Either way, it's longer than it has been for years. So I'm hopeful here. And also amazed that if that's all it took to take my migraines away, that's just mind-blowing. I can't believe it was that easy. It wasn't easy because I would never reach this point if I hadn't had all that going on with my job and my workplace. That's my son in the background. He's being noisy. But yeah, I haven't really filmed lately because we've been sick. I was sick at first, and then my children got it. So we have been tired. There's been a lot of coughing, and yeah. So, but they're better now. Well, this morning I asked that question every single morning. How did you sleep? Or how was your sleep? And my daughter, she was just like, no, it wasn't good. I'm not feeling good. So, and I'm sorry. It's about nighttime now, so I think I want to get them to bed a little early because it was late last night. So that's probably all. And then they both got up pretty early, so that's probably why she had a bad sleep as well. So yeah, that was it for this time. Very impressed with the body therapy. I can really recommend that. Go do it, because you never know, you might get rid of something. So try that out. See you later.